I liked the fact that when I was talking with Mike, he was focusing on the truth of everything instead of this is how you fix that or this is how you keep that from happening. It was more just exposing, he calls it your true self, and getting back to that. That kind of appealed to me because I don't think I'm crazy. I just think that I didn't have the tools that I needed to kind of make sense of things all the time.
It had all of the right tools to be able to alter the perspective. I feel like altering perspectives is one of the hardest things to do with humans because we all have our opinions. We all have what makes us us. And this kind of was like, it was getting back to the basics. It was getting back to what made you happy as a kid. It was getting back to like just pinpointing those big moments in your life and kind of bringing those into your adult life. Like for this, it was ultimately a, let's get back to the inner child. Let's figure out what little Taylor liked and see if big Taylor ends up liking that too.
Honestly, Mike was a big factor in it. I'm not gonna lie. He had so much support for me. And he could see that I could grow in this program. So him having that support, I don't know, it led me to be like, okay, I can do this. So having like people behind you that do support you is probably what gave me the courage to actually like try and do it. Because it's scary getting off medication. To be like, let me trust my brain fully when for the last few years I haven't been able to do that without medication. I mean, that's scary to jump into that and completely stop the medication fully. So I'd say having a good support system, and Mike really pushed me.
The conversations that I had with Mike and just the one-to-one, everything that he kind of explained to me really made sense. And what I was explaining to him about my situation, we were just able to relate, and he was able to, I guess, solve the problems and the questions that I had had prior to meeting with him. The things that I had been trying before I met this program they just kind of didn't make sense. I was kind of reciting things that I didn't believe in, going through the motions to say, and really it just made sense, being more self-aware, not only just emotional intelligence, but just overall intelligence about how my mind works and the things that I would really decorate myself with and the things that I was just separating myself from my sport and what I like to do and how I am myself, and I enjoy doing what I do. I'm not a wrestler, but I'm Judson, and I like wrestling, and that's really stuck with me. Many of the other thousands of things that he's just taught me has really made sense.
In my childhood, I come from a very crazy background. My mom and dad, they were both in and out of my life all throughout. My dad was actually never in it, so my mom was always in and out of my life. And so I never really knew what love was. And I got into one of my very first serious relationships, and that was in July. And I'm 23, never really had a relationship because I didn't know what love was. And so I remember there would be problems that came up in my head, of course, and that was kind of my breaking point because I felt like I was unlovable. And this guy was showing me all the great things, what love was, but it felt so foreign to me because I never was able to receive it in the past. And it made me go into a spiral, that's for sure. And I think that was my breaking point when I was like, okay, I need to fix this. Because if not, I'm just gonna live with it for the rest of my life. And I do not want my childhood past to define me in the future. And I knew the only way to fix that was to face it.
First of all, I think a big part of it is the leap of faith that you have to take beforehand, if that makes sense, of just understanding that you're ready to start healing. Because if you're not ready, you're not gonna move forward with any type of healing, regardless of what it is. I think what I was hoping to happen was to just learn how to navigate through my feelings and emotions and just going through life events in general and past traumas and past anything that kind of goes on. I think the goal of me was to figure out how to navigate all of that the best I could, with also while simultaneously learning how to choose not to have all these issues, if that makes sense, quote unquote, meaning anxiety or depression.
So, everybody is different and everybody deals with the program a little bit different, but there's so many just universal laws about how the mind and the body, they work together. And people with high levels of anxiety, within 2 weeks, they're already dealing with it, but they're already putting it in its place. Anxiety is extremely easy to deal with because anxiety is simply coming from thoughts about the future, stressful thoughts about the future. And that's very easy to deal with. When you bring your attention into the present moment, it literally eliminates it. So you teach them a bunch of tools, how the mind and body works. You bring their attention into the present moment, and anxiety is pretty much kicked to the curb really quick. Now, it's going to come back because it's, you know, it's been a trained thing for a while, but if you continue to use those tools, it's gone. Like you'll have the tools to where if you start to feel anxiety, you can immediately snap yourself out of it, and anxiety will be dealt with. The ones who have taken it, it's life altering. If they're willing to put in an hour a day, it basically eliminates anxiety. It'll put yourself on a path to where within 2 years, depression will be gone as well.